seems to be alright. Well then, so second game is going to be played on Alfheim, and it's going to be different gods, because Berek is sticking with Poseidon, but GrandMonster is switching into Ra. From his Thor, so that's a whole lot of switching in here, and this definitely confirms that the first map was Berek's. Poseidon on water, that makes sense, whereas this one is going to be GrandMonsters, because Ra on Alfheim, that's a very good deal. And of course, Alfheim is the eggy map, so let's start. How's he gonna look at the very early minutes in here? Well, already going for the, of course, for the monumental villages so that he gets some extra favor. It's kind of interesting, but he probably wants it for some upgrades, not really for something like, I don't know, Sphinx rushes or whatnot. Or he might be going for it. Because in the game, in the qualifications, where he played with No Mercy, aka Shadowfax actually did go for that, if I'm not mistaken. And he might be trying to emulate that with the Ra. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually went for some Sphinx raiding. Let's see about that. Definitely the option is there. Otherwise, he has seen, or maybe he has noticed yet, there is elk on the right. And is there more of it? Oh, a lot more. That's a good hurt for him, but unfortunately for him, he started with the chickens and the berries, which are quite close by, so he basically needs just one granary. Even though it's not, and he went for husbandry because of that, because he didn't see the hunt, unfortunately. So yeah, that's husbandry start right there, and that will mean that he doesn't need to spend basically the extra time finishing the granary, and will be a bit more efficient with the chickens in there. Otherwise, back TC, good positioning for an Egyptian. Let's switch off the Fog of War for him, and that's about it. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of tricky because of the gold. It's on the right, which is, let's say, not really in the power of his opponent, but still, it's kind of hardish for him. You can see this is basically his closest goal, or this one. I'm kind of thinking he's going to be coming for this one first and foremost, trying to wall up here. It's not really that hard, and it's a very sweet spot for him. And Azara, he could definitely on this map be doing catapult rock drops, and this is absolutely asking for it. This hill at the back is absolutely asking for rock drops. Oh man. Some rock drops into villages or whatnot. What is it? Whatever is going to be in the back could be pretty annoying. Potentially this one as well, but it seems to be quite far away. So yeah, let's see if that's gonna happen. At any rate, continuing with the gold. It's a challenging map for GrandMonster, but I'm thinking that he has enough skill to actually deal with that. Another hunt on the left, he's definitely going to be unhappy about the husbandry, and then he missed the hunt. He's having so much hunt around him. I mean, there is literally 1, 2, and 3 hunts on his spot, and very big ones. Where are you actually going? Is there a lure? Ah, yeah, there's actually lure on the other side of the map. Wow, it's actually taking deer from literally the other side of the map, and another one. Oh, this is huge. He's actually stealing hunt from behind GrandMonster's base. God damn it, I can't remember ever seeing this, really. It definitely could have happened, but this is... Wow. Well, this is unfortunate for GrandMonster. Fortunate for Berek, of course. Let's switch into his point of view, what he sees. He sees plenty of at the top, back TC for himself, gold quite close by, and behind the cliff, so of course that's a pretty good help for him. Another gold at the bottom, and another TC also at the back with extra hunt. So this map is a pretty good for Berek, as opposed to GrandMonster. Even though I think and believe that GrandMonster did choose this map, so it's spawns slightly better for his opponent. And well, what else do we have here? Probably the relics. For example, this one is for Black Lotus, better villager farming rate, that's good. Good, especially for Ara, of course. Flagstone of Buhan is cheaper walls and gates. Good. And last one is going to be Mithril Horseshoes. That's better hit points. Ah, speed. Horseshoes, of course. Why would it be hit points? That's going to be speed for Cavalry. Very good for Poseidon. Very good to be having for Poseidon, of course. As he's already walling himself off. Quite interestingly. Potentially could have gone for a bit more efficient one in here, but it's not like it's making any kind of huge difference, which means that he's probably going to be continuing with the whole wall here, and then there, and probably here, so that he basically keeps the gold, so that he has those two. He needs basically just this one for the early game. It's going to be fine for him, as another caribou is right now being scavenged from the opponent, from this hunting spot. So it's going to be quite alright for him. And we are probably going to be advancing into the next ages sometime soon, especially for the opponent. Right about now it seems like that Berek is going to be advancing about 540 yet again. He's quite low on food so far. Definitely needs to hurry up with all the food gathering. He does have both already. Interesting. Kind of early to be actually going for husbandry. But he still is going for it. Going to be finishing with the deer exactly on time as the caribou is coming in. Well then. Tempo going to be dropped. So yeah, that's going to be advanced about 6 minutes. And before he finishes, with GrandMonster already getting ready. So probably he's going to be advancing faster. Yeah, right now going to be kicking in after he notices into Ptah. And he does have a relic for what? I can't really see that. He needs to drop it first.
In wedge.
I'm not getting, unfortunately, any help, so not really sure what the relic is. But it seems like that it's some kind of shield. So probably some kind of defense from infantry. Could be. Maybe could be something like that as he's advancing. And what kind of relics, or are they relics? Upgrades is he having? Well, pickaxe and husbandry. Opponent probably doesn't have pickaxe and hand axes. He doesn't. As he's just now noticing that he's still getting some caribous and even elks. On top of that, from here, he's actually stealing all the ham from his opponent, and his opponent basically just doesn't care. It seems like he's already going to be switching into farms because, of course, he's Hera. So he'll want to make use of the rain. To some kind of degree, of course. So let's have a look into Berek's point of view. He's still not advancing, unfortunately, but he could be definitely clicking just now into Hermes. So advance about 630. Well, that's going to be very late. Unless he's going to be switching into faster heroic right off the bat there. He definitely could be. Definitely could be. And I think it could be working for him very well. But not sure. Not sure about the gameplay after that. Usually it's a good idea with Poseidon against Egyptians to basically try to raid as fast as possible. You can see this is going to be a huge classical fight apparently. Or is it? Armory is even coming up. So maybe GrandMonster is going to be a bit of a hybrid. Going to be advancing into Heroic Age and in the meantime producing some spearmen. Could be happening, but it's of course going to be quite intensive on the economy. Considering he doesn't even have any farms yet. So he's playing a very weird Ra. Very weird Ra indeed. He's having absolutely no farms yet. So really no faster heroic from him it seems like. Because they already exactly get the food. Probably going to be just armory for extra upgrade into attack onto the spearmen. So I'm really expecting it's going to be full on spearman from him and trying to push the advantage for himself as Red has just finished with the wall in and is going to be fully protected all across the map. It's going to be kind of challenging, of course, for the opponent to get through if he can. So finishing with the hunt on the right, going to be moving into the chickens. With cows with the axes from husbandry on them. And finally some farms are going to be finished and GrandMonster is right now resembling a proper Ra. From a moment ago, I wouldn't have actually guessed that he was Ra, but right now it looks a whole lot better, and it's looking much more promising, even for the faster heroic. But at this stage, I really don't think so. He's just producing slingers apparently, and going to be continuing with a few spearmen, of course, and going to be coming into a bit of an offensive. He's gonna be discovering just plenty of wooden walls. He will be probably needing. What is the relic then? You cannot see it. God damn it. I was thinking that actually when it is deposited we're gonna see it, but apparently not. Yeah, well, tough luck for us. And he's moving forward and maybe, just maybe he might try to control the TCs because the TCs are absolutely funnily spawned. You can see absolutely no TC at the bottom, just a lot of gold in there, whereas town centers, the front ones, are in the top. And to the side of both of the players, so they are really kind of absolutely useless positions because they are not between the players. We are just looking at this settlement here and this one here, so really GrandMonster is in a pretty good position to just scout around, get through the wall even if he can. Here you can see right now the fast repair rate of repairing the walls. That's something that was nerfed in the Wobbly Balance patch. Even ceasefire is right now going to be used against all this because the army is just getting a bit too big for Berek's liking, the two Berek's liking, and he's thinking that he's gonna need a bit more time to actually prepare for this. Well, maybe he should be switching into some other army, not really Hippicons, against spearmen, so he should be probably switching into archery, which he already is, so good thinking right there. But of course his opponent is having a few slingers up his sleeve as well. So GrandMonster is going to be quite ready for anything that is going to be coming. GrandMonster still in the classical age, not really advancing further into the next one, as he's having basically a nice line of base upgrades. And Barek is actually not really bad off either. And he might be looking to actually upgrade into the heroic age himself. If he actually is somewhere building armor, which he isn't. Economical upgrades the base sons as well, basically the same as his opponent. And well, he's actually going to be trying to find something to kill. And maybe, just maybe trying to surprise the army of the enemy from the back. But of course, it's already waiting in there. And he just got the medium slingers, medium spearmen upgrades. And those guys, they're gonna get home. They're gonna get home safe, but he definitely needs to wait for a lot more archers in there. As unfortunately, this gate is gonna die pretty soon. Yep, so all the units are right now through, and they will absolutely slaughter and annihilate all the army that Barek can right about now put against the opponent. And even though he's getting medium exactly on time, this is actually quite nice. And keeping reinforcements into the battle, this is going to be very hard for him. As the medium spearmen are doing a good job against horses, of course. And once they potentially get even some upgrade from the armory, which might be coming, maybe, just maybe. Apparently not yet, as he's still aiming more into... He's not really aiming into the heroic age. It's just basically some kind of reflex, I think, built in the armory, because he's not really using it at all. As the heroic age is most definitely not coming, as this military academy. Interesting idea, but I don't think that hoplites are gonna carry it about now. He should be probably incorporating a few myth units, if he can pray a bit, get some centaurs and whatnot. But at this stage, he probably the most what he needs is getting into the heroic age, because it seems like that this power spike and the army from GrandMonster is going to be just a whole lot better than what Barek can be mounting against him. Let's see, just this army, and this is it for Barek, whereas GrandMonster is having all of this, and he's even getting up in resources, and the heroic age is probably going to be coming sooner rather than later, it seems like. Just missing 200 food, and he will be ready to go. Beacons, of course, and they are going to be fighting against those spearmen, and he could be just basically sending some reinforcements around the back. Unfortunately, he doesn't have enough units to do that, as he's coming for armory. Potentially some armory upgrades for himself, or maybe just going really into the heroic. Let's check. He's actually really going into the heroic age. Oh well, he's going to be probably there faster than GrandMonster. That's kind of interesting, something that you wouldn't really expect all that much. He's right now at least trying to maneuver a bit into the slingers, but unfortunately it's not really working for him, and he's gonna get absolutely annihilated in that. And is he getting some tower upgrade somewhere? Probably not, at least I don't see it yet. So it's going to be up to the town center, and yeah, Aphrodite is coming up, and we are going to be seeing it. GrandMonster is coming through Hathor as well. Alright, he's going to be almost through, so once actually he is, those villagers are just gonna come forward, drop a migdol on this goal. I would be really thinking that that's exactly what's gonna happen. He's not gonna be afraid of anything at all, so he's just gonna drop it right there. It's going to be reminding me of actually bronze match in Age of Empires that we had in RTS League, where opponents just basically literally dropped a castle right next to the opponent town center, and it just went up, and it was basically GG due to that, because there wasn't anything at all that he could have done against a castle in his base. At any rate, of course, medium slingers are still pushing forward with medium spearmen as well. Upgrades are definitely not coming in there in this game, but here we have heard siege works, and we are going to be seeing a whole lot more barracks coming up. So basically, it's similar to what I said, just that the migdol is not a migdol, but it's a siege works. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same, as Aphrodite is up. Heavy slingers are also upgraded, and we are probably going to be waiting for heavy spearmen as well, as the hippicons are also waiting for some interesting engagement. And together with the useful god power of actually the curse, that could be a good engagement. He could be actually killing the army right about now. This is nicely timed by Barek. He could be doing some significant damage right about now if he plays it correctly. Not unluckily for him, just heavy spearman hit right about now. Just about now, moving forward in there, and he does have some army. And yeah, Hipasp is definitely a great idea, as he was able to produce the military economy at the back, and he's coming forward exactly with the right type of unit. Right about now, he should be just basically using the Epicons to run around to kill the Pharaoh and the Slingers and whatnot, and just leave the front up to the Hypaspis, and that will be basically it. Well, right now though the spam from GrandMonster is just going to be too much strong. It seems like too strong for actually Barak to handle. Looking at the economy, you can see it's actually not that different. Actually not that different at all. Looking at what I wanted to look at right about now, actually some upgrades. That's probably good. I was just going to say that it's going to be the difference, but it isn't. You can see that GrandMonster is right about now still having just basically baseline of upgrades. Nothing extra. His opponent is having the same, I think. Yes, he's just missing plow, but he just switched into farm, so he's going to be still having plenty of piggies from the curse. That's gonna help him in the early economy, but he definitely needs to be worried about the locusts, of course, because they're gonna they're gonna be killing plenty of villages and also the farms that are going to be quite expensive for Barak to actually put back up, because you can see his economy is kind of strained. He's having just a lot of gold. But that's about it. As he's... Oh man, somebody forgot to build a storehouse. Yeah, that's a bit sad news. Probably too consumed by the battle in the middle in here. And unfortunately wasn't able to correctly do this exactly as GrandMonster. Anyway, GrandMonster is going to be still in the town center, the front one for Barak. So Barak is just basically going to be left with the one at the back. But since he didn't use it in the last game, I think it's really looking like that he's not going to be using here either. So it's basically just waiting for the absolutely insurmountable numbers for GrandMonster to kill Barak in here, as Barak just won't be able to do anything against that, even if he potentially will be having some upgrades. At about now, medium Hypaspis and medium Toxots would be a good idea, but he doesn't have the resources he does have for the medium Toxots, and potentially even for towers. That could be something that he could do. That doesn't seem like that would be on the menu just yet. As the army is getting rid of all of this, siege works coming up yet again, and there's going to be plenty of siege towers hidden in there, right? Well, not really that plenty. They're just now coming out, and it seems like that we are aiming for one of the significant pushes of this game. Looking like that GrandMonster is going to be really thinking that this might be it, and he definitely has the army. He doesn't have any kind of use of god powers. He could have shifted. He could have shifted basically the Toxots into his base. That definitely could have happened, and I think that would have been a good idea for him. But right now he's gonna be killing tons of houses, which will also produce tons of militia, which is a pretty nice strength of Poseidon, of course. And it's looking like that actually Barak is doing a pretty good job in the battle. Medium Hypaspis are finally in, and the extra units from the buildings are definitely paying off, but at the same time it means that he's losing military buildings, military production abilities, and that will be water on the mill of GrandMonster, of course. He's still pushing forward right now. Finally, that's going to be the first Migdol, right? Yes, that's actually the very first Migdol for him, after advancing into Heroic Age quite a lot sooner. And, well, quite inevitably, just pushing forward and getting rid of all the siege in here, as even Prodromos are coming in. But to be honest, this is basically just a reaction that I think that he hasn't enough resources. As right now we are looking at the locals, killing villages and farms, of course. Wow, that killed a lot. Actually did kill quite a lot. And to finish my thought with the Prodromos, because they don't really cost all that many resources, and they are a bit more affordable for him, so that's why he was making them, because otherwise they don't make much sense against the composition. And of course right now he's going to be moving forward in here into the town center, and with the elephants moving forward right now, Prodromos could be useful. But with all the spearmen and even the shooting from the slingers, from the towers and from the Migdol, it just doesn't look all that promising for him. There doesn't seem to be any kind of extra push, just the TC capture at the back. That's going to be GrandMonster at 3. There's still one available to him, with one at the back available to Barak, but yeah, Barak doesn't seem like that he would be in a stage that he would be even thinking about it. So this seems like a pretty good push by GrandMonster, and pretty much it for the game, it seems like. Oh, he just got upgraded there. He got masons or something. No, he didn't. or I was clicking to something else, but it really looked like that the TC just got hit points from something. But not sure. I was probably mistaken, doesn't really matter at all, because the battle is right now over, and the GG is coming from back, which means the GrandMonster is in the round of 16 of the AoM Vanilla Championship, leading 2-0, and it's just one game from victory. I can see he was even closing in to actually take the TC for himself. So let's look at the post-game where GrandMonster is going to be winning everything, and well, Barrick is actually gathering more food in here. So that's at least something. Otherwise, the economy, not really that stronger for GrandMonster in the first game. Could have been also because of the water, of course, because that was just too easy for GrandMonster. And he was having a huge bonus from that. And well, otherwise, kinda similar advances into the Heroic Age, but the Classical Age that really hurt Barrack. He wasn't able to be a bit more aggressive with Raiden and such. And the Heavy Spearman, of course, against medium Hippicons. That's that. Nice curve. It's almost like it's round. Okay, GG.